Hello and welcome to Emerald Meadows, all things 3D printing, RC, and sometimes quilting. I do have a quilting project I'll show you when I'm done the 3D videos. Today we're going to be talking about tips. The first video was problems I had in the assembly of the Geeetech. I still think it's a great machine, but there's some things that I did that I thought were pretty good. And I'll show you some close-up images of that. One of the things that I did was because of all the wiring that's here, I add colors. I use fabric colors I got that they use. We got at Joann's store, and it comes in about 6 colors: green, blue. And what I do is I touch the ends of the wires. So especially for my little switches here. Those are important that they're going into the board in the right direction, or you could have problems where the end switches aren't working properly. So I simply put in a red to red, blue to blue, and I just put a little dot color. The LCD screen and the SD card reader, ribbon cable, making sure that they're all being plugged in properly. So that's number one tip. Use the little markers, the colors, so that when you're plugging things into the Arduino board, you're going to be plugging things in the right direction. So that's one of my tips. One of the things is that there's little leveling thumb screws here for leveling the bed. Leveling the bed is critically important. However, this can get a bit loose. What I did is I put a medium thread lock on there. And what that does is that will prevent the screws from coming loose, because what happens is after you've printed a few times, the bed becomes on level, and it will no longer work properly. You'll get some garbage parts, and then you've got to go through leveling again. It'll still move a bit, but this will keep it more stable for a lot longer period. The other thing that you may want to notice, you notice that the bed here is all kind of roughed glass. There were discussions on the internet about roughening the glass. I had a problem when I was doing some of my first prints with warping, and I tried every tip in the book, tape and glue, and I still use glue, and I'll talk about that. But I couldn't get anything to work. So what I did is I went to the local store and had a piece of glass cut, and then I took my Dremel with a stone on it, and I roughened the surface of the glass. That has been working perfectly. I have not had any problems with my parts. They've been almost dead level. The parts have been coming out really nice. This is a NAS 32 case. Perfectly level on there. However, it only stays level up to about 75 millimeters. Once I go above 75 millimeters in height, okay, such as this mount for a Bixler, once it starts getting a bit higher, the harmonics on the printer causes it to shake off. So I still have to use a little bit of Yoo-hoo stick, and I use blue, mainly because I can see it, and when it dries clear, so I know it's dry. When you put this on, by the way, do it when the bed is hot. Don't do it when it's cold, because it'll clump up and add too much thickness. So anything above, I find anything above 75 millimeters, I still have the glass bed, but I still have to glue it down for anything above a certain height, because actually the harmonics of it printing on top just breaks it off. So I always take care of that. When you're doing your paper test, the paper test does work. When you're testing how close your head should be to the printer, if you can hear that a bit, there's a bit of a rub, not too much, but the paper moves. That is very important to make sure that you have the right distance from the nozzle to the bed. That does work. It works very well, but you have to do it all over the bed on all 4 corners. other tips. You notice that I put the filament up on the top. I use the holder that they sent with it, and I just dremeled out a bit of a notch in there so it would fit flush right onto the unit, and I drilled out a couple of holes so that it wouldn't bind up on the Z-axis threaded rod. And that seems to work a lot better than when it was behind, because it would drag over and get caught in areas. So this works a lot better. It runs a lot more smoothly. So that's a tip that I can share with you. This glass one has been maybe the best of all. It has really made the whole issue of things laying flat on your bed, and if they're low enough, it stays stuck pretty good. So that's it for today's on the tips. The Geeetech Prusa Pro B. Love this machine. As you can see, it's printing out parts a mile a minute. So look forward to the next video. We'll be talking about printing a tricopter. Have a great day, and thank you for watching. And if you like, press like, and please subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.